I like to raid in the high mall. I like to raid in Blackrock too. I like to raid in the Tauren jungle. I, I like to raid in every difficulty T to something. I don't know.
Something every
Something.
difficulty.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Hi, chat room.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the business here.
The business at
The
hand.
the business.
And
Biznass.
the business, and it's the "We Are Live" tweet. Ooh,
Yeah,
not
I see what
liver.
you're talking about with the gray.
Yeah, and the white was worse, so
Oh yeah. Can you
I can
I
move
was gonna
it.
say you could put the stroke thing on there, and make it look like a meme. They put the little black border around it.
I could put that. Let's see if I can change this and make it an outline. I can't. Can I change it? No, I can't. I can't change that. But that's all right. We know who you are.
I
When
can
you move
sit
in,
down
it's
like
fine.
this. Yeah. I
When
just
you
kind of
move
stand
in,
like
it's
this.
okay.
Is this okay, guys? I can be
I
like
just
this.
walk-
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
You guys, we have a big one tonight, and it's called.
Boy, do we.
Was that really? That was a little bit of a innuendo. Yeah, innuendo.
Out the door and innuendo.
But oh, too funny.
Yeah, I tried that theater mode the other day, Lori, and that was no bueno, no bueno at all. Yeah, I just kind of didn't like the way it looked or anything. Hey there, Kilroy.
Hey.
Hello,
Hi,
Shield
Tyrone.
Better. Hey, Nate.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Tyrone. Merry Christmas savings alone.
Exactly. We could. Oh man, if I maybe next year I could do a parody on "It's a Wonderful Life."
Oh gosh.
Have somebody running through the streets of Stormwind. Merry Christmas, Arskin House. Merry Christmas, Blue Recluse. Merry Christmas, you old guild bank. Teacher says every time a paladin pops his wings, or something. Oh, what is it? Every time a bell rings, a paladin pops his wings. There we go. Something like that.
Every time a bell rings, a Valkyr gets her wings.
There you go. Well, what do you want, Mary? You want the 2 moons of Draenor? Wrap the... I don't know.
We're really goofy tonight. We apologize because we're really goofy tonight. I think we're both a little nervous about our intro. I think it's a little nerve-wracking. It's good. It's good. I mean, it's exciting. But
yeah,
this is something we have never done before. So.
It is. Hey, just like Paragon had a world first, we're about to have one.
It's true.
There you go.
This is a world first on Tauren Think Tank right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have a big show. There's a lot of stuff in here. And,
a lot to dig into, that's for sure.
Yes. So buckle in because it's going to be a fun ride. And I like your Santa hat, by the way.
Thank you. Does
it fit over those cans? Like
almost. Almost. I can't see what it looks like. Give me a second to get back to the camera. Hey, that looks terrible.
That looks great.
No, really, you look fine. It looks wonderful.
You got a nice little cowlick going on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. It's pushing my it's pushing the headphones into my ears.
Oh God, no, that hurts.
Just a little bit.
I forgot to put my ear things in today. That's right.
Okay.
My
I'm
TMJ
gonna
ear
do.
things.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I should do that. I should because I'm going to talk for a long time. 2 seconds. Keep the stream going. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. Hey there, Draven. Let's see here.
On the first day of Christmas, those hobbits are stole from me. How precious that was just for me. On the second day of Christmas, the hobbits are stole from me. 2 juicy rabbits, and the precious that is just for me.
Hey, Natani.
That.
You missed me doing my Smeagol because Draven's doing the
12 hobbits' days of Christmas.
I've got to put a battery back in my headphones. It's the noise canceling and it needs the battery.
No
so it's starting to get a little light. So
no problem.
Let me fix that.
We're all discombobulated tonight because it's like all these things we need to make sure we have done or we'll have problems down the road. So the Santa hat comes off. So, how's everybody going? How's everybody doing? How is everybody going? It is definitely Saturday. So this is Saturday.
Hello, MacGyver. Hello, everybody.
We haven't seen the sun here, by the way, in over 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
It was overcast today, so I didn't see it either. But we were also about 70, 73 degrees a few days ago. Yeah, it was nice and warm down here, and then it rained for 2 days straight, and then it got cold again.
It's been cold. I had to my tires in my car were getting a little bit low, and so yesterday I was like, all right, I got to put some more air in these tires or I'm going to have some problems if it snows. And it's like, it was 29 degrees, which is actually kind of warm for this time of year. So I was like, out there putting the air in the tires going, no, this is not too bad. And I'm thinking, a lot changes in a couple of weeks. It's like, what? So, awesome fish, huh? I'll take an awesome fish here and there, and I'll gripe about it every single time.
Man, this fish is awesome.
Man, this fish is awesome. All right, anything we have to do housekeeping wise before we get going?
Let me see here. Let me look at the notes again. You can't quite see the Christmas lights all that well. That's up on the bookshelf, or at least I was looking at the stream from a few seconds ago, and I was you can kind of see them.
They're pretty.
Cause I got a string of lights I put up there, and I figured if I can't show you nothing else, I got room for a tree in here. So I figure I put a little string of lights and kind of goes up from the outlet up across the bookshelf. When it goes, and you can see it go, you can't quite see it, but it goes across the bookshelf, all these books up there. So you see, it goes up like that. And Merry Christmas. I figure, being 5 days from the big old day itself, we might as well feel festive with the hat and my Christmas cookies. I got a couple of those.
That is a pretty cookie.
It is. It's my brother-in-law works at a bakery, and
wow. Look at that. That's like
that
is professionally done.
It's a professionally iced cookie. I have a Christmas tree and an amorphous circular disc that's white. It's like a snowball, maybe. I don't know.
Looks so good.
It's either a snowball or it's like part of a snowman. I want to know where the middle and the head part is.
Is there something in the middle of that?
Sprinkles, just
No. Like, is it just a sugar cookie, or is there something?
Oh yeah, just a plain old sugar cookie.
Ah, that looks really good. Damn it,
man! I don't know what it would be filled with, but it would probably taste awesome.
I know.
Put some more icing in there.
Yes, Marconin is most definitely super festive. I am not. I have no Christmas T-shirts. I was like, oh, whatever. So whatever. The closest I get here is a cat shirt. So that's okay.
Yeah, and I do have I'll go ahead and pan it down.
Yes.
And I'll sure enough plug Real Big Fish. They're one of my favorite bands. I've seen them live three times, and their Christmas album Happy Scala-Days came out on Monday. It's only $5 for 6 songs.
Oh wow.
One of them's a take on doing Carol of the Bells, but it's Carol of the Beers, and they just go beer, 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 beer. And a really good cover of Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer as well.
How awesome.
So it's really cool.
That's
and
so cool.
I am very happy about that. And hello, Nelena. She's one of my good friends that I introduced her to the show last year when I got her into WoW, because I used to work with her, and she traveled with us last year.
Well,
and so I know her pretty well. She's a big fan.
A big fan of the show.
Yep.
All right, let's have you bring your camera back up so
let me see
your head. There you go.
See my face.
Your face in there.
Get my face. All right now.
All right.
I think we're going to be about ready for this.
I'm so nervous. Okay. All right. I'm not doing anything. It's already done. It's just, it's going to be out there now. So
it's finished. It's done.
It's done. All right.
It's just ready to be showed or listened to. So
let me do a sound check.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network.
Balance is good. Check. Let's make sure.
Mic check 1 2 3 1 2 3. I'm all right with. I guess nobody said anything about me being either too high or too low for
No,
you
they
guys.
did not.
So I guess we're good, guys, on the levels for the voices.
Yes, they'll let us know if there's anything out there.
All righty.
Righty row.
I am. I think I am good to go. Got my Steerbucks coffee mug with water in it.
You've got your Steerbucks coffee
Hardcore.
mug. I have my Jules. It's hard to see it, but it's my Jules horde symbol. There it is. My water. That was also done by Crane. We'll wait for you to finish typing.
Yeah, sorry about.
Because you can hear you typing.
Yeah.
Click, 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 click.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
Hello, Kranos. Yes, that's a very familiar looking mug. I love it. It is my podcasting mug. Well, it's my only mug, so it's my mug as well.
All
Yes,
right.
okay.
We're counting it down in 3, 2, 1.
Commander, we have reports from the field that the Iron Horde are advancing into Talador. We have orders to rally east of Aukendun to mount a counterattack. Commander? Commander!
What? Huh? What were you saying? Huh?
We have orders to help the local Draenei push the Iron Horde back to the Tanan jungle.
Oh, well, I'm sure they'll be okay without us.
But Commander, we have to render aid to them. They need us.
I'm okay staying here. You can go ahead if you like.
But Commander, please.
I'm staying here, and that's final. There's nothing you can say that will change my mind. I just want to
Commander
stay.
Dreno's outside.
Won't you go away?
Commander Dreno's outside.
The fire in
The threats out there won't
here,
disappear.
So very nice.
Don't leave us to our own
My
device.
tannery could use some
What
attention.
ma'am did I forget to mention?
I could use a big salvage
Your
yard.
troops are nervous when they're on guard.
Just when I think I'm
To
done.
see you might curb apprehension.
I need resources to be supplied.
Ma'am, would you please just come outside?
What I really
Commander,
need
there's loot out there.
is more fire.
There's lots to be earned out there.
Go gather a team.
so fed up I might
to
scream.
Get some more.
Go out and get them like before.
Why don't you just go?
Hey, why don't we
sir?
go together?
My garrison is where I'll abide.
Don't you feel cooped up here inside?
Really must
Please
stay.
just come out. Commander Dranor's outside. Commander, we must go and fight.
It's cozy and nothing's going to kill me here.
But
Nope. I don't want to go.
Commander Dranor's outside.
The answer is no.
The Iron Horde is outside.
Our forces will
How
win.
much I wish you would listen.
Without me there.
I'm so upset I could pull out my hair.
Varian owes me that king.
Why would you say such a thing?
Because I killed the evil Lich King.
Not to mention you killed
I
Deathwing.
killed the Shah and made Gary sing.
Your accomplishments are astounding.
Maybe I'll just sit out this whole
But
thing.
Khadgar wants to give you a ring.
Do need more
Commander,
gold.
there's tons out there.
My auctions
More
have
things
sold.
to be sold out there.
You've been really nice.
Are you finally listening to advice?
Help me see.
I've gotten through, she's breaking free.
You have a map I can borrow.
Commander, where you lead, I follow.
Lots of things to go and explore.
Ashrenagran and
I
Talador.
really can't stay.
Let's get a move out. Commander Dranor's outside.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
welcome to episode 127 of Tauren Think Tank. The Christmas episode. Oh my goodness. My name is Jules.
And I'm Mark Conan, guys.
And that's Mark Conan, and we're really excited that we did. This was like it was really nerve-wracking, but I'm
shaking.
I know, I'm shaking too. I have to give so many props to Mark Conan. He was the one that edited this whole thing. We came up with this idea together. We came up with the idea to do a song, and we really wanted to do something together. And so this was the one. We said we're going to do a Christmas song. We're going to do this. We got time. We'll figure it out. And it was a truly joint effort. We obviously, we both sang on it. So Mark Conan, man, excellent job.
Well, thank you. You did an excellent job too.
I thank you.
Your singing was wonderful.
Thank you. I'm so like this is really hard for me. Talk about facing your fears. I've never sung like that before on anything. And so it's really nerve-wracking for me. So hopefully my heartbeat will slow down a little bit. Chat room, you guys are fantastic. Thank you for your compliments. It makes me feel makes us both feel much better.
Yeah, that was the main thing I was working on all week, just making sure because the lyrics were some of the hardest stuff, because you got to get a lot across in a not too many syllables each time. Yeah. So it was a challenge, but I think it turned out pretty well.
I agree. And so thank you guys for your compliments in the chat room. And we both agreed that this is something we want to do more of. We'd like to create some more things like this, and I think we will be doing it. So, it's our world first right here.
Yep.
Is Mark Conan
it's a world first for the podcast. Maybe not as cool as Paragon with the world first clear, but hey, it's our own.
Hey, I'm quite pleased with having this world first. So happy holidays, everybody. It is today is Saturday, December 20th, 2014. We are certainly excited to have a Christmas show, holiday show. We've got a lot of stuff for you tonight. We've got some things to give away. We got something to give away to all of you. We have something to give to you. We have a present for you. We've got great questions, great discussion. But first, let's talk about what's been going on this week. So, Mark Conan, what did you do this week besides work your whole ass off on this song?
Well, when not attempting to sleep work on the song, I took on the Ice Crown Challenge. And what that is something that our good friend Arcane Ratzel on Twitter and her friend in the Halcyon Guild, Baylor Stoss, came up with this kind of variation on the Ice Bucket Challenge. Yeah. And what it is you clear Ice Crown on any difficulty, with friends or without friends, whatever you do, and you time yourself from when you start to when you loot Arthas, and however long it was, they say, so if it took you 23 minutes and 10 seconds, you donate $23.10 or however much you can to, and this one goes to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Oh, wow. And I got Ratzel challenged me, kind of like how people got challenged on the Ice Bucket Challenge. Yep. And I was thinking about it and looking at it, and I was like, a few weeks ago, if you listened, I had a friend who committed suicide a couple years ago, and so I thought about him, and if I can do this, show it to people, and then just send it out, then maybe it can help somebody in the end. So, and that's what it's about. That's why we're doing it. So I cleared it in 50 minutes, 17 seconds, but I did solo it on 25-man heroic. The mount did not drop, but it was still all right. And Drevin Dresden in the chat room says that it's still not cleared yet because I can't heal the Dreamwalker fight because I'm a mage.
Yep.
But you can walk past it. So that's the little kind of disclaimer. And so that, Chief Vol'jin said the healing bosses never count. And so they don't count. So,
well, if the chief says it's okay, then it's okay.
Yeah, the war chief said it's okay. So it's okay. Many thanks, war chief. Thank you for having me back. So I did that,
Is
and it
there a
was
way?
fun.
Can you give the information if anyone's interested in participating in this?
Yes, if you want to go participate in it, check out Ratzel's Tumblr. You can find that at Arcane Ratzel. That's arcane, ratsel.tumblr.com. And Jules, if you could link that in the chat room
I most
for
certainly
me,
can.
that way the chat room can see it.
Yes, I think that's
And
perfect.
it's got the rules on there. It's got the address for the particular page to donate, because they've got, I think they have like a $600 goal or something like that, and it's really cool. And you can donate through that page to show that you're doing it for the Ice Crown Challenge. And yes, I challenged a few guys. I challenged 3 people, including Chief Fulgen. So hopefully he can. I'm sure he can get in there and clear that, no problem, no problem at
War
all.
Chief, are you kidding? Come on now.
Yeah, he can do it. I know he can do it.
Gauntlet thrown.
Yeah. And let's see. One other small thing is actually earlier today. I'm trying to unlock the menagerie, the pet battle station in my garrison. I have not done anything with it. And so I'm doing the pests versus pets achievement where you have to kill the 3 pets.
Mm-hmm.
And I was grinding up some flying, almost said Pokemon, flying battle pets,
Pokemon.
so I could take out the aquatic one. And I was over in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms just farming those striders and those water striders. And I clicked on one as somebody else was walking up to it. I didn't see him because he came over a hill. It was a female avatar. And I clicked on it and got in the pet battle, and they spit on me.
Oh.
They did the emote /spit at
Oh.
me. And so I was like, well... and so I looked them up in the armory, and they were an alliance player on another server. So I typed out their name and I said, hey, sorry about that. I didn't see you until I'd already clicked it. Not expecting any kind of reply, but then they did reply and said there was to the effect of, yeah, it's okay, man. It happens. Sorry about that. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry about the emote too. I'm having one of those days. And I was like, it's all right, dude. No problem. Sorry again about that. Good, hope your day gets better. And he's like, I appreciate that. Thank you.
That was so nice.
And that's the way you have to, if you get some, like we were saying, was it last week? You never know what the other person's going through. I could have been just like, yeah, well, F you kind of blah, 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 and just start doing that. And there's multiple reasons why I wouldn't do that. And one of them is because I thought of last week's show. And so that's why I went out of my way to at least express and, be apologetic about it. And so that was another thing that happened.
Wow.
And yeah, that's about, well, and I raided with you this week. So can you tell us about that?
I can, actually.
Can you tell us about that,
Why,
Jules?
yes, I can, Mark Honan.
All right.
Cat on Fire started up this week. Super excited. And Mark Honan came along with us. He can't come all the time because of his weird schedule, but whenever he can, he's going to pop in and be a part of the team. Can I just say, though, I absolutely love that option to be able to bring your friends in as the option, if you want to, and not have to think twice about, oh, we've got to sit somebody else out so that you can go and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I love that so much. Blizzard did that right. And
they really did. They came through with that one.
Yes. And so it was great. So we went with 11 folks for this round. And I love my team. They're just really, really good people. And we're taking our time. We're going, people have got stuff going on. We've got people with kids, sick kids. We've got people with spouses working and sick kids, and
songwriting
and there's a lot going on and for people, and we totally get it. So we're taking it really easy right now. We're in normals. We got 2 bosses down in the first night, and we got some really good looks on 2 others. Did some wiping and tried some
almost
things
took
out.
down Tectus.
Almost took down Tectus. Had some good feels on it, but it was getting late, and unfortunately our tank Trelant was not feeling well, so he had to go. And but it's just what I love about this feel of raiding is that it's just, if you want to be more casual and have a good time and not be pushing hard on progression and still feel like you're being challenged, it's totally there. And and then on Converside, you can go into LFR, and it's super easy, and it's like, it's not a lot of stress. You're not freaking out. People aren't killing each other, screaming at each other. And, for the most part, I've heard some horror stories, but not as bad as it used to be.
Oh, not anywhere near. I did the second wing earlier today because my computer crashed before I killed the last guy on the second wing. So I went back in there to try to get loot. But we wiped once on him, but that's because we pulled without all the healers being topped off on mana. So we just like nobody cursed anybody out. We just wiped it, got back in there, put down some buff food, ready to go, ready check, we're good, and just boom, we just took it out.
Nice.
So it's challenging though.
Yeah.
But it's not. It was still was a pleasant experience. It definitely wasn't a bad experience, and that's so good.
Oh,
so good.
Love it. So, rating feels good now. It feels like there's a good balance for everybody who wants to do it at different levels, and there's places to go if you get through what you're doing and you want to do more. So I'm super excited by that. We're gonna try and meet up again next week for our team. We've got one person who won't be there, so we'll just bring in somebody else. There you go. And then I decided I think I talked about it last week I've been playing my monk and I'm really enjoying my monk, but it didn't feel right being in Draenor by being a panda. Felt really weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I bit the bullet. Yep, I'm a space goat.
You're a high kicking, spinning crane kicking, ghost punching, whatever the abilities are, space goat.
Yes. And
you're a tiger palming space goat.
It feels so much better than it did. I don't know why. It's silly, but I just feel better playing around as a Draenei than I did as a panda. It just didn't feel right. So yeah. So I did that change, and then I was playing around with her today, and I've got her up to level 96, and I'm just kind of cruising through, and it's been fun. It's been a good feel to it. So that's what we've been doing in WoW. But we spent a lot of time doing stuff for the show this week, and we've got some more stuff for you guys.
We has more stuff, yes.
Yes. So now you heard on last week's show that we were going to be giving away one of the posters that Mark Honan was able to get his hands on.
Mm-hmm.
And we are starting that giveaway right now. And it is available to anybody in any country. Yes. We will mail this if it's a winner somewhere outside the United States. You can win this. And this is, thank you to, this is made part by our patrons. So thank you to our patrons for that, because they'll help us with the postage. So I'm going to put a link in our chat room, and for our audience, I have a short link for you for the poster giveaway. It is bit.do, so that's bit.do/TTT poster. Again, that's bit.do/TTT poster. And it was a nice little short link file I found because I couldn't do it anywhere else for some reason. It wouldn't work. And you can fill out this form, and it one entry, please, per person. It closes on January 4th. So we get 2 weeks, 2 weeks to be able to enter in, to be able to win. And we will pick one winner at random, and we will send you the poster. That's pretty much it. There's a picture of it on the link too. I took it from Mark Honan's Twitter.
Yes, it's the midnight release poster that some retail places gave out. I was fortunate enough to come across some extras, and they were like, "Yeah, get it out of here. We don't want them." It's like, all right. So we gave one out to Fate 3000 last week.
Yes,
and his is in the mail. I sent it out Thursday, Friday. I think it was yesterday I sent it out. So his is on the way, and in a couple of weeks, yours could be too, possibly.
Yeah,
so
you got to enter the win, though.
Yep, you got to enter to win.
So there you go. Chief Olshan asks, if it's open to all countries, does that include Kalimdor?
It indeed does, Chief. It
Mark
does.
Honan will find a way to get the postage rate.
I will go into FedEx and be like, I see on your postage you don't have a listing for Ogrimmar or Sinjin Village. Can you guys look that up for me, or ask? Can I talk to a manager? I need to know how much it's going to cost.
Sir, I need to know the zip code.
Oh my gosh, it's Duratar. It's in Duratar. I don't know the zip code. Look it up on your computer. Google it if you have to. I can't. I can't even. I don't even know what this is. But I will try, Chief. If you win, I'll get it to you one way or another. Believe that.
I love it. I love it. It's awesome. I love the voices. So yeah, definitely. Please, this is our present to one of you, and a giveaway, and so we're pretty excited. And we have another present for you guys. What?
What?
Another present?
So many gifts.
So many gifts. We're gonna give them away all in the beginning of the show because that's what we do. So we wanted to give you guys a gift this year, and we thought about something that we get a lot of letters about. We often get letters just like the one I'm about to read, and it got us to thinking about how we can be of help beyond just giving advice about it, because it's something that we get asked a lot. And so here's the letter. Here's one of the letters that we've received most recently on this subject. Hey, Think Tank. Big fan of the show. I just got back into WoW after a break that went all the way back to Wrath. Being back, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and I'm inspired by the community they create, especially on shows like yours, The Instanced, Starting Zone, and Azeroth Roundtable. I also just moved to a new city where I know very few people. I had hoped the game would give me the opportunity to make some friends as I'm adjusting to my new surroundings, but I'm finding it hard to connect with other players. As a mage, I used to make friends with food and ports, but with garrisons, the solo-heavy questing experience, and the LFG dungeon sprints, I haven't met anyone who is open to friend requests, group questing, or even just shooting the poop in Ironforge or Stormwind. Is this how the game has evolved since I left? Am I on a bad server? Should I be accepting random guild invites in hopes of making new friends that way? Thanks from Nerd, Gnerd, on Kargath. And so we have we have an idea. We have something that we would like to give to you guys. And it kind of came from an inspiration of when I was in school. When I was in school, in both just kind of grade school and also in language classes, I was in a pen pal program where you got paired up with somebody at random from another school or another country if you were doing this through language classes, and you got a chance to write letters back and forth and meet somebody who you didn't know. And I've seen people turn into friendships that way, and I said, well, why the heck couldn't we do something like that? So I'm happy to announce that we have started the Tauren Think Tank Pen Pal program.
Yep, the TTTPPP.
The triple T, triple P.
There you go.
I didn't even think of that. That's funny.
It just came to me.
Yeah, it's awesome. The Triple T Pen Pal program is an opportunity for you to sign up with some basic information, and we will give you the name and email address of someone who kind of fits what you're looking for. And if you're interested in doing this, then we will give you information on the other person. You start messaging back and forth, maybe exchange some battle tags, and maybe you've got a new friend to raid with, to do pet battles with, to guild with. Who knows? And so the easy way to do this is to just sign up, and then we will take care of the rest to pair you. And the link for that one is bit.do, bit.do/penpal. Easy enough. It's bit.do/penpal. And you can go in, you can sign up with your information. We will match you up with somebody, and we'll give you their information. Super easy. Nothing to it. I wanted to give some special thank yous to some folks who kindly offered to help us with some feedback while we were developing this. 2020 Site, Lucas Masseline, Turarts, Mugaiver, Natani, Jackie Bradley, Fate 3000, Nate, and Kalani. Thank you guys so much for helping us out, giving your feedback and ideas and thoughts as we were putting it together. We really appreciate that. So
yes.
I'm excited. This is a kind of a pilot thing. If it does well, then we'll do it again, and we'll do it quarterly and let people get in on the action. So yeah. If you like it, please sign up. We'll get you matched up with somebody and have fun with it. That's our gift to you this holiday season, helping you to maybe make some new friends. For Nerd, hopefully this might help you too.
Yeah. Because, this game is an amazing solo experience. I have to solo play almost all the time because of work. Mm-hmm. But whenever one thing that helped keep me in the game was being able to play with friends when on the odd chance, while traveling, I get to play with friends and with people I know. So if that breathes new life into the game for people. And so hopefully this will do the same for someone out there, nerd on Kargath or a couple other people as well. So just think it's a cool idea and we're trying it out. So yeah.
And if you have feedback about the opportunity and you see, please let us know. Questions at taurenthingtank.com is our email address. Go ahead and if you want to just sign up, go ahead and sign up. And then it closes, I believe it closes on the 4th as well, that I have it through there. January 3rd is the first round closes. And then, and you don't have to be a Triple T listener to be a part of this. You can tell your friends about it. You don't have to be a listener. It's just, we're just the ones doing it. So, and that's it. It's pretty simple. So yeah, we're super excited to have something that hopefully will help some new people meet each other and create some fun relationships. So, okay, lots of things to talk about. And now it's time for some discussion.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
All right, discussion time comes from a letter, and here it is. Hey, Triple T, I've been a listener for some time now, and I love the show. I have a rather simple question to ask. How much control is too much as far as being a guild officer? Some backstory for you. My wife and I have been playing the game for a while. I've been playing since before Burning Crusade, and my wife since just before Kata. We've been avoiding guilds for some time due to my previous exposure to some that were less than helpful. However, when we met with some real-life friends, their experiences with raiding were inspiring enough to look for a guild to do so. Since the friends we met played on European servers, we could not join. After a bit, my wife found a casual raiding guild for us to join that had 2 teams, Progression and Second Team. The GM, who was also the raid leader of the Progression team, was not pleased that the Progression team grouped with the Second Team for a boss kill when he was not present, and updated the guild message of the day to reflect as much. So my wife and I, along with several others, including several officers, left to create our own guild. My wife and I were made officers due to how helpful mostly my wife, and knowledgeable mostly myself, were concerning the game, and we agreed. While we were in the new guild, we raided together, even decided to switch servers in order to recruit since there was only a handful of prominent guilds at the time. After the switch, things were fine. There were some that didn't like some of the raiding policies who decided to leave, but we stayed. Although confused, we kept in touch with some of them since they were friends. We continued to take charge of a few things, recruit and raid. My school schedule shifted, and I was no longer able to raid the same days as the main group. I decided to take some people who had an interest in raiding and some new recruits to make a second group. We were doing fine, even making better progression than the main group. However, there were some in the guild that kept poking fun of those who decided to leave earlier, which made the environment rather hostile, which my wife and I tried to qualm. It also should be mentioned that some of those who left were former officers, and some of the ones poking fun were also officers. I had to leave the group for 2 weeks due to a work trip, and my wife and a friend of mine, who was the leader of the group that we recruited as the leads of the team. When I returned, my wife informed me we had lost a few members due to a hostile environment and various real-life commitments. Furthermore, when I returned, the GM and co-GM, newlyweds, wanted to have a talk with both my wife and I, and they didn't like the control that we seemingly had. From what they told us, it appeared that it appeared as if we were trying to take control of the guild. After the conversation, my wife and I were demoted. Rather confused as to how much control officers should have had, we decided to leave. This story does have an happy ending. My wife and I re-rolled, each using separate recruit-a-friend accounts, and we were recruited on a friends guild on a different server, which has opened up a much better progression opportunity. They even allowed us to cross-raid with our main tunes while the ones we recreated were leveling up until Warlords was released. However, we made sure that as part of our admittance, we would not be given any responsibility as our previous experience left a bad taste and some confusion. Thanks from the creepy one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the main question in all of this is how much control is too much for guild officers? There's a lot here, though, and I think I've been through every single thing that this guy has been through in my WoW experience of 9 years. And it's kind of funny. It's almost like I've heard this story before because it's just been like mine. So I have you been through this? Have you been through this before, where you've been changing guilds throughout your experience?
I have. There's been a few guilds that I have moved around with before coming to CTR. Uh, none of them were really like drama heavy reasons for leaving, but there was drama. There was drama sometimes with the raid leader and the way that they raided, the way that they enacted control over us, the way they treated us during the raid and after the raid, and it was a hostile environment, and that's one of the reasons why I left that guild, and I was thankful that I wasn't able to raid as much. Um, and then one of my guilds was starting to go in a direction I didn't like. The people who could be around more turned out to be kind of trollish, and it was kind of it was leaving a bad taste in my mouth, that knowing that I was being associated with them because my guild banner was the same as theirs.
Yeah.
So people would say that to me, like, "Oh yeah, well your guys did this and that and this and that," and they were officers, they were GMs of the guild, acting that way, and I was like, this isn't what I signed up for. This isn't why I created that guild. So, and that's when I left that guild.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been through a little bit of drama. I went through a lot of it as I was a guild leader in the Matrix Online, and there was some big drama that went on there, trying to keep the peace there as well. So I've been through a good bit in my years of MMO-ness.
Yeah. I think from everything that Just Plain Creepy has mentioned, he is in the chat room tonight as well. And my own experience, I think that 99% of this issue comes from a misconception of what is really happening. Mm-hmm. It's a perception of one thing. And what the reality is completely different. And it's a lack of communication about what's really going on. A lot of assumptions get made about this and that, and nobody is really clear about what they actually wanted in the first thing. They just say, well, you took two people, or you took people from this team and this team, and I wasn't even there, and that hurt my feelings, and I'm not cool with that. Instead of saying, hey, I really wanted to be there for the boss kill, and I didn't want to just leave. And, I didn't want you to just go and do it and kill him without me. That's the hardest part for me, for people, is the non-communication. And it's happened to me in guilds that I was in, where, when I was in, when I was on the Alliance guild that I was in before Convert to Raid, when I was in that, and we switched to Horde, that guild went through a whole drama-filled crap fest, because there were people on there who were just like, we want this to be more RP, and we want this to be more raiding, and it was like all these different things, and then it was all these hurt feelings, and everybody just left in a huff, and it was just like, if we could have just talked about this, it is not going to be, it wouldn't be turning out the way that it is now. So
yeah, and it does it a lot of times it's like, when they don't know, they assume the worst.
Oh yeah.
They're like, if it's something totally innocent, or not even like an angle you didn't even think about, how it could offend somebody or how somebody would think, they take that road more times than not. Then they'll automatically think the worst. They'll think you're a terrible person. You're doing this against them for, to be mad at them, just to make them mad or piss them off or whatever. But it's not, a lot of times it's not even about that. It's not even about them. Yeah. It's just, and that's the thing with officer responsibilities, is it's not clear cut. It's different in every guild. Officers can, the roles aren't set in the game, because we have guilds where the guild leader is also the raid leader. We have the guild leader and who's not the raid leader, and then you've got a raid leader, so you've got kind of two different leaders. And what are their roles? And the class officers, how do they influence? And then, unless you have it clear cut, like with like a guild charter or something like that, and everybody, if you have it from the get-go, then that'll help with confusion. If you're stepping on anybody else's toes authoritatively or anything like that, I think that could help. And that's, in my experience, that's been the reason why things have happened, is that people overstep the boundaries they didn't know were there.
Great point. And even if you're a small guild, even if you're a family-sized guild, you should still have even the most basic of rules. Even if your main rule is don't be a jerk, Yeah. But you have, and it seems sometimes silly when you just create a group of friends and you put together, but when you start putting organization behind it and you say we're a raid team, that's, or we have a raid team as part of our guild. I see the biggest drama though when you have smaller guilds that have multiple raid teams. And I've seen this numerous times because automatically it becomes, this is the progression team and this is the second team. And instead of it being, we're just two raid teams trying to make progression. And, I think it works best, instead of calling it Team 1 and Team 2 or progression and second, is name your teams.
Yeah.
And
just have a name.
Just make your team name. This
make
is
it funny. Make it cool.
This is Team Butthead.
Team Beavis.
And Team Beavis.
Team Commander Butt Munch.
And Team Commander Butt Munch. But what happens is that it becomes a competition. And then it becomes a, oh, well, you guys are, and even say in the creepy, just plain creepy just said that in his email, we were doing better than the other one. Honestly, I don't think it's probably best to say this one's doing better than this one. It's just, we're rating. If you can get that mindset out of there, it helps a ton, because then it doesn't become a competition. It comes to all one group of guildies who are raiding. And so that's one thing. That's where drama tends to come in, is if you have multiple raid teams and one feels like it's more preferential than the other. So I'll talk a little bit about how we do things for Convert to Raid. In Convert to Raid, we have a lot of rules because we have to. We have a lot of people, and we have a lot of officers. And the goal is that we may not make this decision that everyone's going to like, but we're going to make the decision that's right for the most people, and that it is in the spirit of the community. It is always going to be in the spirit of the community. It's not about us. It's not about our power. It's not about us being in power or exerting our authority over somebody else. It's not about that. And because if it's not good for the community of Convert to Raid, it's not good for us to support it. So that's how we function. That's how we do it. For a long time, we had a rule where we didn't allow people who were outside the guild into our Mumble server. And the main reason behind it was that we just didn't know if we would have enough room for everybody who was in the guild. And we didn't want to tell a guildie that they couldn't be in the Mumble server to raid. And then we were inviting people from outside, and they were taking spots that our guildies couldn't take. So then it kept coming up. It kept coming up because people then, when flex raiding came up, it was like, guys, I want to invite my friend on another server and come raid with us. And, and it was like, you know what, though? We'll just fix this with another solution. We'll increase the server size. And we had to increase the server size again for the first night of Warlords raiding. We had to go from 300 slots to 500 slots because we had no room on that first night of raiding. But we're a raiding guild. This is what we do. So we just fixed it. And because it was for the community. It wasn't us trying to exert power and say, we do not want outsiders. No, it's about raiding. We just want to make sure that we had what we had, and we had the opportunity to then increase the amount of people on the Mumble server. And so, and like, the other thing that I find sometimes really interesting is that as an officer, sometimes the most simple things are easy to do if somebody would only ask that they do it. So I realized that some of our officers didn't have some functionality because Navox, who was in our chat room tonight, mentioned it to me. I had no idea. I had no idea that they were missing the access to like certain things, that they could do things for their groups on the forums and change some access points and that kind of thing. And he asked me, and so I went to Zug and I said, "Is there any reason why they can't do this?" And he goes, "No." And I said, "Did anyone ever ask this question?" And he said, "Probably not." And so I said, "Okay, well, what would it take for us to do this?" And he said, "Oh, it's pretty easy. Just go ask Darius to fix this." Sure, I'll go do that. I go ask Darius, "Here, can you do this for this and this and this?" He goes, "Sure." It was that simple. But nobody had asked the question before then, or hadn't asked the right person for the question. And that's what it turned out to be. And so I was able to say, "Here." And I was like the hero. And I'm like, "No, you just asked me the question." So, and I helped because I could. And so communication is, it's the big thing in this show and in life, is just ask or talk about it, or just talk it through, because you just don't know where someone's coming from until you ask them.
Yeah, and another thing that Just Plain Creepy brought up, he said in both guilds the GMs had busy lives, so they were incapable of running the guild, so that had to be left to officers. And there may have been a couple of decisions that officers made that they may not have agreed with, and I think that goes to a possession. This guild is mine. I am the leader. It's mine. And then you get into this kind of authoritative, like a dictatorship almost. It's my way or the highway because I'm the leader. Well, why do you have the guild leader? Allow us to do the things that we need to do to make the guild fun and make it a good place to be in. If you can't make it, I understand. In some cases you can, be the guild leader, but when you're not here, we have to make the tough decisions. We have to make the calls. So and I've been in guilds where the guild leader is like, this is mine. It's my way or the highway, and I leave because I can't. If they're not willing to listen, at least listen to reason on issues. At least hear the pros and cons of the sides of the story. Then why even be there? Why would you want to be in a place where someone's like that? You wouldn't. So I think that goes to speak about that, because I do know some guild leaders that are like that. That are this is mine.
This is my precious. You can't go raiding without me.
But you know why that is, though? You know why people do that? This doesn't apply to everybody, but it applies to a large percentage of them. When you do that, when you're it's my way or the highway, it's insecurity. It's that feeling of not feeling like people actually trust your authority, and so that you have to come across as the uber authoritative person to show and throw around your power and show people that, and people think that's how you're supposed to gain respect from people, and you don't. You gain resentment. You gain people thinking that you're just all into the power, and it's not about that. It's not about, when you lead people, it's not about you being in charge. It's about you being respected for the decisions that you make and the consistency of the decisions that you make, and your willingness to accept fault when you do it, because you will. You will make mistakes. You will say something stupid. You will do something that doesn't agree with people. And if people go, rah, when you make a decision about something and they're like, that's stupid. I can't believe it. You're so dumb, blah, blah, blah. You're like, no, I'm not stupid. I didn't, and you go through all of this stuff where it's like the knee-jerk reaction, instead of saying, why do they feel this is stupid? Why do they think that this is dumb? And, what would they suggest? And listen to the opposite side. Yeah. That is the mark of a strong leader. And so when it comes to, it's the basics of any leadership. In order to be a good leader, you should surround yourself with people who are better than you at a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just the basic thing, And we're very lucky in CTR that we have that, where we have people who are in leadership who are very good at things that others of us are not. It makes us stronger. And it makes us more of a cohesive team because we do that. And let me tell you, it ain't all roses and sunshine. We disagree. We don't always get along. We have things that people take personally. It happens. And people get into it, and then there's someone that's got to step in and say, yo, hang on. Take yourself out of this for a second and think about it from a business type mindset, because that's how we have to do it. Yeah. And honestly, I would love it if someday you could put guild leadership and raid leadership on a resume and not be laughed at.
Give it about another decade or so, and you might.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe.
Maybe. Right now, it's most likely not going to happen unless you're in a very high tech type of industry where they understand the intricacies of MMO relationships. Most of the time, people are just going to be like, "You play games, what?"
Yeah, get off that computer and do something with your life.
Yeah, you gotta.
That's kind of how you.
I love it how you talk about the employers from the South. It's like,
Well, it could be from anywhere. It could be from anywhere, you know.
well, that's
It
when
just
the,
in
the thick Southern accent comes out, and it's the best.
it's my go-to because it's the easiest one to fall back into. Fall back into. You hear that?
I heard
Oh
it.
man. Sometimes it's a fight. Sometimes it's a fight. And another thing is that kind of what we were saying earlier, a good leader is a good listener. That is a key trait for
Yes.
anybody in a leadership role to have, is to listen. You can't hear what anybody else has to say if you're the one screaming all the time. You can't do it. So, you know, my advice for for people like that is just to listen.
Yeah.
Listen to what your officers are saying. Listen to the concerns of people and try to work with them. Just try. Don't throw your authority around like a big hammer or something, you know. Speak softly. Carry the big stick if you have to, but speak softly and then listen.
I call Zug the hammer for a reason, because when it comes down to the big stuff, Zug brings out the hammer and he drops it hard. But normally he's the kind of, you know, making sure that everything is copacetic and it's all good. But I call him the hammer because when it comes down to it, if he has to, the big stick comes out. And but the
That was
thing
my
that we
bowling
have,
nickname too.
what's that?
That was my bowling nickname, is the hammer.
The hammer.
Because when I throw the bowling ball, I throw it really fast and really hard. So it may not hit all the pins, but the ones that do hit go flying.
Oh, you're one of
So,
those bowlers.
Yeah, one of those boulders. I'm not like, it doesn't gingerly roll down the lane. It's like, okay, whichever ones I do hit are going to regret being in front of it. So that's what they call me, the hammer. Can I bring the pain?
Man, I can't throw a bowling ball for shit. One of these days we'll go bowling together and you will laugh.
We'll put the bumpers up. Just in
Yeah,
case.
you probably need them. I'm quite comical when I bowl. Anyway, getting back to our topic. Oh crap, what was I gonna say? It was shoot, I had something too, and it's
Zug's
gone.
the big hammer.
The big hammer of, but the hard part of being a leader. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. The thing about being a leader in a guild is that anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. It doesn't matter if you've got experience. That nobody hires you to be a guild leader when you could start your own guild. And so you could put anybody who's got any level of experience in a leadership position. And Just Plain Creepy was asked to be a leader based on his previous experience, which happens quite often. But think about it. You just get a group of people who are like, who's going to be an officer? Oh, you'll be an officer. You'll be great. Let's go do that. And so, you know, this is talking about people who may not have as a lot of opportunity to lead other people. And I will tell you, it is not something that you get like a box of information of how to be an effective leader and just know how to do it. You're going to make some missteps. You're going to make some mistakes, and you're going to learn. You know, if you're lucky enough to do it in a job environment where somebody who is experienced and has done well has taught you, which luckily I was, you know, and I made a lot of mistakes when I was a leader in my 20s trying to figure out how to do it right without being, you know, this is my way or the highway approach, which doesn't work. Let me tell you, it don't work.
I have to do that with work sometimes too, because my supervisor won't be in the way, won't be there. And I have to try to make some of the decisions, and I've screwed up. Yeah. But I've learned to listen to everybody else on the team and try to figure out the best way to move forward. And that's, and you're right. Blizzard doesn't give you a manual whenever you accept the officer tab request or whatever, you know? And so people that are, you know, it takes a special way of thinking to be a leader. And if you don't have it, that's okay. You can learn it. And that's something that, you know, officers and people need to keep in mind if, you know, when they get into a position of responsibility within the guild structure.
Yeah. I give one piece of advice to anybody who is currently a guild leader or an officer, or who has become one or will become one at some point. If you can find it within yourself to apologize if you've made a mistake and accept responsibility for the things that you might have not done right to somebody, it is the biggest piece of respect that you can earn with people if you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
If you can say to them, you know what, guys, I screwed up and I didn't do this right, and I am really sorry. You guys, this is why it happened. I thought this, and I didn't think about that part, and you brought it to my attention, and I really appreciate it. And I just find that gets me so much further in life by accepting the responsibility for the things instead of trying to fight back and be like, well, I'm right because blah, blah, blah. And it's just that whole feeling of like, I've got to justify why I'm right instead of saying, well, why don't I listen to why you feel that I'm wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And talk about it, really talk about it. And once you take the emotional reaction out of it, the knee-jerk reaction, man, you can sometimes make it really far. I think the gun-shy feeling of not wanting to get back into a leadership role is very justified.
Absolutely.
Very justified.
Absolutely.
And it is a very difficult thing to do. And I find, and I'm betting that this will happen to him again, is that once you've done it before and people find out that you did, they're going to come after you to say, hey, we got an officer position available. Do you want to do it? And because
I heard you've got experience.
I hear you know what you're doing, because I don't. And I need
I
you.
I love how Masha comes out. I missed her.
She's just kind of hanging in the background there. It might be a Marsha Christmas. We'll see.
Next year we'll go caroling with Marsha.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Where are those damn jingle bells?
I forgot my music.
How much control is too much for being a guild officer? It is the amount of control that you are willing to give to others that makes you an effective one, and to work together with people instead of against them, and to make sure that it is in the best interest of your guild and your organization, and not just because you are the one who was put in charge. Basic things from the TLDR version of this conversation right there. Anything else that you wanted to add? Because I've been going on and on too.
Oh no, I think you pretty much wrapped it up, and I think we had some good points made about attitudes and where the line needs to be drawn, and really you have to found the guild like that. It has to be built on a solid enough foundation that you can, and really establish the roles and the rules and stuff like that. I mean, it's an organization. It's a structure of imperfect human beings, just like any other. Yeah. So laying some rules down at the beginning helps. Having well-defined roles helps, and talk to people. If you think something's wrong, just talk to them. That's communication. Communication.
It makes a world of difference, man, when you find out how someone actually feels instead of assuming what you think is the truth, and not, kind of putting your own spin on it, because you could be very, very wrong and not even know it. So,
yep, absolutely. Can't fix any problems you don't know about.
That's right. It's so true. I live that every day. It's like, dude, I can't fix this if you don't tell me when I'm doing wrong. Otherwise, it's your fault, because I can't tell you. I don't know I'm doing it. So that's how I kind of view it. If people are upset with me over something, is like, I can't fix it if I don't know what's happening. So
yeah, same here.
Yes. All right. So if you have a discussion topic that you'd like to send our way for the show, you can do so at questions@taurenThinkTank.com. That is our email address, where we take everything in from advice questions, discussion topics, feedback, tell us one thing, /moves, all that great stuff. You can send it all there. Perfect.
Thanks for the question, creepy one. We appreciate it.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
That was a good one. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about doghouse systems. Oh, doghouse systems they just wrapped up their Christmas, their holiday special, I should say, and it went really, really well. People are responding all over the place to say, hey, I love my new doghouse on Twitter and Facebook, and just happy to see some new doghouse owners out there. If you're a new doghouse owner and you've tried it out and enjoyed it, let us know, because we'd love to talk about the experience that you've had based off of that. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more we can say except that we love it, and they help out the show like nobody's business. They've been a partner since the beginning. Since pretty much the beginning when I met Clark at Nerdtacular 2012. So
Old school.
Old school indeed. If you want to get double the memory on a brand new gaming system for yourself, please do so at doghousesystems.com and enter the code TTT at checkout to get double the memory. We thank them for being sponsors of the show. And,
Absolutely.
yeah, and
It's a
someday
good deal,
Mark
folks.
Conan.
Absolutely, check it out. I know I need a new computer eventually.
He does. So Mark Conan
I'm
will
in
be
the
there.
market. In the market.
Well, we got to get past Christmas first, I know, but
Yeah.
so we thank them for being a sponsor of this program. We thank you for supporting our sponsor. All right, so now we're gonna get ourselves into a pretty heavy think tank tonight. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Do you want
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
I'm like bumper happy tonight.
That's okay. I jumped out right in front of that bumper, didn't I?
It's okay.
I was gonna say if you wanted to break your vocal, have a vocal cord break, I could read it for you if you'd like. Or
I
if you-
think I'll
if you
read
wanna go
this
and do it?
one. Yeah, and
Cool.
then we'll have you take down the next one that we've got.
You got it.
Okay.
Just gonna offer.
That's okay. I'm doing good. All right,
Good.
so here's the think tank for tonight. Hello, Jules and Marconin. This is something that has been bothering me for a while, and I was wondering if you could discuss this on your show. Why is it okay to be against bullying when it affects children, but if it affects fellow adults, they're told to, quote, get over it or, quote, toughen up? I personally have been bullied since the age of 7, and I was in 2nd grade. It has caused me to be extremely shy, have social anxiety, although mild enough that I was able to survive BlizzCon with only 2 panic attacks, and be extremely wary around new people. This has extended into work relationships and online relationships as well. I also suffer from extreme depression, and it's hard for me to bounce back when people say mean things online and at work. Recently, I was bullied bad enough on Twitter that I abandoned my account with over 1,000 followers and have started a new one. The bullying on Twitter has been a small group of people just finding fault with things I say and just picking fights. One example was I asked for peace concerning the Ferguson situation, and I was attacked so harshly for it that it made me feel as though peace was a terrible thing. Later that week, I was bullied at work, severe enough that I have done something extremely bad that I have not done in months. Yes, I cut my arm. I have 9 slashes across my left forearm. I'm not proud of this. I'm extremely embarrassed that I let others put me into this moment of weakness. At work, it's much worse. My coworkers repeatedly belittle me, tell me things I've witnessed never happened. They make me feel as though I'm going crazy. They laugh at me. It's a bunch of little things that over time add up to making life miserable and unbearable. The gashes on my arm are from work. I sat at my station, took my bag cutter, and ran it over my arm repeatedly until I finally felt pain from it. I then continued to do my work bleeding. But what has hurt me the most out of all of this was when I was on my 2nd account explaining why I was upset and I felt bullied. I was told to stop playing the victim and to get over it. Why is it easier to tell the victim of bullying to get over it than to tell the bullies to stop bullying? Do you think it's possible to be bullied as an adult, or am I really just being too sensitive? I hate that I let them get to me so badly, but there is no one to talk to about this because I'm told to get over it and stop being so sensitive. I hope that helps. Oh, I'm 37 years old, so yeah, that might be something. Please do not use my name on all of this. I don't want people to know how weak I really am. Thanks so much for all the help you give to everyone. From Katie Derry. Okay, very first thing. Marconin and I are not professionals. And so we will never claim to be. We will never claim professional help, to be giving professional help. So please just understand that we want to make sure that people are aware. We're not professionals. We're not doctors. We're not therapists. So we don't claim to be. Number 2. The most important thing in this email is that you do get professional help.
Absolutely.
As fast as you can, if it's possible. There are some alarming things in here and things that I know we both take very seriously. Number 1, cutting is something that that requires a professional. If you're not already getting help, you've said you've done it before. But if you haven't gotten help for this, for your depression, for your anxiety, I can't stress enough. That is very, very, very important. You just need some support. You need professional support, because the cutting is not anything to be taken lightly. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and so I'm not going to talk a lot about that because it is not our area of expertise. What we will be talking about is the bullying part, because I think it's very relevant, and I think that we have a lot to say on the subject. Marconin, I'm going to let you start because I have a lot of things I want to say, and I don't want to take this conversation over.
Yeah, no problem. A bit of background. You know that fat kid that everybody made fun of growing up? The fat nerdy one? That was me.
Yeah.
I was bullied. I was thrown around. I was punched. I was not treated very nicely all through growing up. Best friends that I had in May, when we break for the school year, over the summer would make new friends that were cooler, or more fashionable or preppier or whatever. Come August, they wouldn't want to talk to me. They would make fun of me. They'd trip me in the halls. They'd throw my bags on the floor. So I can speak to bullying a good bit I have that experience of being bullied. And it sucks. It really does suck. Eventually people, and this is as far as like children bullying you, which I know is different than adults. Eventually most people grow up. Your friend, these people will grow up, and I've had people come up to me, especially years down the road, even at my 10-year reunion, people came up to me and apologized for the way they treated me.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were like, "Dude, I was a total douche to you, and I'm so sorry." And I was like, "It's okay, man. It's it's kids." And so I know it's bullying, but it's not adult bullying. And now the thing to remember about the internet is probably assume that you're, as far as these bullies or trolls, they're probably dumb little boys that are teenagers. They don't know any better. They're high and mighty, and they think they've got some power behind that keyboard. Mm-hmm. And it's dumb. It's stupid. It's the bullies taking to a new medium. And they can reach more people that way. Yeah. And it's just not. It's not cool at all. It's not any better than bullying somebody in real life.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to collect my thoughts on this.
Yeah,
it's just,
I want to ask you
it's unacceptable.
Questions. Well, yeah.
Unacceptable.
I want to ask you a couple questions.
Absolutely.
So, because I want to, I'm going to go on a tangent here, but it's going to come around to a question, I promise.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So, when you were in school, it feels like, when you're in school and you're, of course, in this kind of microcosm of people, there's the people who are kind of separating themselves into groups of feeling cooler or not cooler. And then it was the people who tended to feel they were cooler, picking on the people who were perceived as not cooler. In the times where you were, in those kind of groups, I guess, had you ever had the desire, and there's no wrong answer here, but had you ever had the desire to pick on someone who you deemed as like lesser than you?
Yes, I did. And I acted on that a couple of times.
I did too.
And I regretted it, and I apologized for it because I realized that I was becoming like them. And I saw I saw the way they reacted to it, and I could see that same look on my face. I could feel the same way they felt, and it made me not ever want to do that again. Yeah. Because it's if you know how it feels to be bullied, and it's not something you want to have happen to you. So do unto others as you have them do unto you.
But when you're younger, it's very
when you're
hard
younger,
to
you don't realize that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, so when I was in school, I was bullied as a child too. Because I was smart and I was kind of different. I just wasn't like all the other girls because I just didn't want to be. But there was this girl who I'll call her Marcy, and Marcy, in grade school, was very different. I want to say she was like Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter, but a lot more kind of like outgoing because she just kind of beat to her own drum. She was very, very artistic, and just very much like a space cadet in her own way. And she used to walk on the balls of her feet, so she kind of bounced when she walked. So she made herself very different, both physically and kind of personality-wise. Marcy was so bullied in school. She had rocks thrown at her. She had kids that would shove her downstairs. Like terrible, terrible stuff. To the point where Marcy had to go to an all-female Catholic school for the rest of her schooling because she couldn't handle it anymore. And I remember, and she used to live around the corner from me, and I really felt bad for her, but because I had been bullied, I didn't stand up for her. I never treated her badly, but I never stood up for her, and I always felt badly about that. Because as someone who has been bullied, you're afraid that those people are going to turn on you, and you have that feeling of, well, I'm glad it's not me, which is horrible. It's no good. But you just have this relief that it's not you.
Yeah.
To this day, Marcy, like, she's friends with me on Facebook. She sent me a beautiful, like, she's a pastry chef. She sent me a beautiful basket of things for when Kane and I got married. And I still to this day feel guilty that I never stood up for her because I feel like I was a coward. No. And because we were never that close.
Yeah.
But she was always a very nice person that just got a raw deal. And so I think that what happens today, my story about Marcy applies to that today. For people who have been bullied as children, we know what it feels like. We know what it looks like. We've seen it. When it happens as an adult and you see it, there are many, many people who are afraid to stand up and say that is wrong because we're afraid that that's going to turn on us. And it's really, really sad. But what I wanted to talk about with Katie's situation is to talk a little bit about why this happens. And I'm not defending any bullies here. I want to talk about why this happens in general so that you can help. It helps to give you the tools to be able to stand tall and not feel like you are going to hopefully want to cut yourself to get rid of the pain. So why do bullies do what they do? Well,
makes them feel better.
It makes them feel better, number one. But I believe the largest thing about the whole thing is it is someone who is dealing with pain of their own, and they want to try to take the power away from someone that they feel they can take it from. Let's take our current example that we're dealing with right now with the whole Sony thing. Okay?
Yeah.
You got Sony out there who has been beat to shit right now.
Yes.
Their security got breached. Their most private secrets, their most deep and dark information, the things that they never wanted to become public scrutiny are now public scrutiny. And they didn't choose it because somebody took the power away from them. And they did it because they wanted to hurt them. And now they're being told that if they release this movie called The Interview, which says some terrible things about North Korea, and they don't want it to be out there, that they're going to cause a terrorist type event at the places that it'd be shown at, which scares the theaters. The theater owners say we don't want to show it, and Sony says we are not going to release this movie. And everyone goes, "What the hell, Sony, you bunch of pussies!" You know, it's like yelling, screaming, and calling them all of this stuff. Like, how could you not fight? Okay, look at it from Sony's perspective.
Yeah.
For just a second, would you be able to sleep at night if you were the one who said, release that movie and don't give a crap about anything else, and somebody died because of it?
Yeah.
That is one part of it. They are scared because somebody has tried to take away their power, and they have done it in multiple ways. That is what bullies do. And if you and then people are all just like screaming and yelling and saying you should release it online. I mean, even Mitt Romney, of all people, comes out and says release this online and encourage people to donate money towards Ebola research or support in order to, you know, make it a public effort, put it out there, and don't let them win. So this is and I'm putting this out here because we're all having an opinion about the Sony issue right now. We're all having an opinion about it. And it
Absolutely.
is the same thing as going onto Twitter and telling someone that you hate them, that you want them to die, that they're stupid, that they're a money-grubbing whore, all those things that people say to others to try to hurt them. It's about taking away your power.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you fight that? How do you stop that? How do you not let that win? That is the hardest part.
Yeah, the hardest part, because you do have, like, you have a gut reaction. You have a gut just feeling. Like, I get it right here. My chest starts to vibrate really fast. My heart starts to race, and my joints tense up. It happened earlier today, and you get that fight or flight response.
Yep.
And my instinct is to not go after them in the aggressive sense, but to give them to tell them that you're wrong. Here's why. But that doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work with internet bullies, because they can disregard it. You're just text on a screen. You're not a person.
Nope.
Whatever you say does not matter to them.
And if you respond, they know they got to you. They know that their words hit a mark and hurt, and they will do it again. They will.
Yep. They found the crack.
It is. And it's so and it is our instinct to want to fight back. It is our instinct to stand there and say, how could you say this to me? Blah, blah, blah. It is not going to work. And I know that sucks. I speak from absolute recent experience with this. It does not work. Do not respond to it. And so for Katie, who had these people that said this, you block them. You block them so you cannot see what they're saying. You don't allow them to say it to you, and you go about your business. Because if you let them take you out of the account that you worked so hard to build and you were happy on, and you created this group of people, then they win. And that is how you fight back. It is excruciatingly hard. I will tell you, absolutely. It is one of the hardest things that you can do, is to stand tall and tell them, even if you are crying inside, if you are losing sleep, if you cannot even face logging onto Twitter because you hate it and it makes you upset, you have to stand tall. And that is the thing that people say, just let it roll off your back. You can rage and scream and cry to the closest people that you know, and you should. But in a stand-up, you do not let them know that got to you. You do not. Because what bullies do is they're trying to take away your power. If you don't let them, they're going to go someplace else that they can feel like they can succeed. And that is the tried and true method. The hardest thing in this whole thing is not to respond and to not rise up and feel like you got to fight back. Feel like you got to throw a punch. Feel like you got to hurt the person as hard as you can because they hurt you. No.
Yeah. In real life situations, if someone comes at you and like for my bullying in high school, it dropped off dramatically when I started fighting back. It's not so much fist fighting, but standing up. Like I'm a taller guy. I'm over 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Eventually I outranked them in the height department.
Right.
And I fought back twice. And my science teacher in 7th grade can attest to it, because half the desks were gone on the floor in her classroom because I fought back when a substitute teacher was out of the room that day. I fought back and I threw things, and he didn't mess with me, and a lot of people didn't for a long time. So
because they knew,
it was a threat, and it was me fighting back. That works a lot better in real life than it does online.
Yes.
Because you can always disregard what somebody says. You can ignore their pleas to their not pleas, but their willingness to work with you.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, can you kindly stop? Let's figure this out. They can ignore it if they want to. They don't have to. They don't have to regard anything you say. They could just keep hitting you over and over and over, and threatening your account, saying you're stupid, saying you're dumb, saying all these bad things about you. And just the hardest, sometimes the best action is no action.
Yes.
That's the key.
And
That's the key.
is harder than hell.
It's harder than fighting, that's for damn sure.
It is, because it
really
hurts.
is. It really is.
It hurts to see things said about you. It hurts when people try to purposely put you down. It hurts when you don't when people say things that aren't true, and you want to fight back and you want to say, that's not true. I never said that, or I didn't do that, or that's not what I'm saying. And it's like, it doesn't do any good. And I have learned this through all of the stuff that I've been through in my life, is that if you have built a reputation for yourself, if people who know you for sure and for certain, and the body of work that you've created, or the person that you are, they are going to stand tall next to you, and they are going to be there for you when it comes down to it. And those that believe things that are said about you, rumors spread, things that are said negatively, if they just believe that after knowing you for a long time, and they want to believe one person's bad note on someone else, everybody screws up once in a while. Everybody does something stupid. But it's the person that you are and the people that really know you that are going to count. The rest of them don't matter. And that is the hardest thing that is for a lot of us, because we want everybody to like us. You know?
I'm guilty of that.
You want
Absolutely.
everybody to like you. You don't want to think that someone out there thinks that you're a piece of poo for a reason that you wish you could tell them, I wish you could help me. I could help you understand, or you could help me understand why you hate me so much, or why you're so mean to me. And most of the time, it is something going on with that other person, something very deep. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of hurt, and they are getting it out in the most just bad way possible.
Yeah, it's not self-destructive, but it's destructive nonetheless.
And I thought about this before the show, and I'm still not certain that this is true or not. But for people who have been through cutting, and people who have bullied others, it is something similar, except for the fact that when you cut yourself, you're inflicting the pain on yourself that you're feeling inside. And when you're bullying someone, you're inflicting the pain that you feel inside on someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an expert, but this is kind of the correlation that kind of clicked into my brain, and that a lot of people who would never try to hurt somebody else will just inflict the pain on themselves. And we'll do that maybe not with cutting, but with self-loathing and beating yourself up and remembering and spinning those things in your head that someone said about you, those terrible things that you can't get out of your head. And it's this horrible feeling, because the bad stuff is easier to believe. It's always that way. It's always that way. And it sucks, because people can tell you 50 times that you rock. But if one person tells you you suck, you will remember that for the day, all day long.
Yeah.
And so
it's true. It's true in any application. No matter how many compliments you get, it's the one insult that it takes it would take like 100 compliments to counteract one insult. There's some kind of saying that's along those lines, but yeah, it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true.
The way I get through it, the way I get through this kind of thing, when someone is, I get it out, I block it away. I don't want it near me. Get it away. On social media, that's why blocking is there. Get rid of it. Just
that's what it's designed for.
Yeah,
that's what it's there for.
You don't see it. It's not coming to you. You don't know it's there, and you don't go looking for it. You don't want to see what they're saying. Don't go to their timeline to see it. You just do it. Just get them out of your life. And the other part that I remember is that happy people don't bully others.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a happy person, you don't care what everybody else is doing. You're too happy. Too busy having a happy life. If you're not happy, you're focusing on a lot of other things that people are doing in their lives, and you're really, really focusing on criticizing them because it's easier than criticizing yourself. And so I remember this. Happy people don't bully. And so that person, as hard as it is when they say crap about you and they make you feel like crap and they put you down and they make you want to hurt yourself, they are as unhappy as you are right now. And they are making you unhappy, and you can take your power back and say, I'm not going to let you make me unhappy.
Yeah, and that's different from when the people would tell you to get over it or toughen up. It's different because you are, you're not getting over it. No. You're getting rid of it. You're taking the initiative to get rid of it. Yeah, you're taking control and you're getting rid of it. You're not getting over it. And toughen up. That's not quite the right way to put it. That's not the way I would put it. I would say, like I said before, block the people who are offending. Ignore it. Get away from it, because you don't need it. They don't matter. Those people that you don't know on the internet from God knows where, They do not know you. They do not matter to you. You don't know them. Even if you do know them before, like if they were, it doesn't matter. If they're hurting you, get away from them. That's I don't know, kind of lost my train of thought there in a second.
No.
But
It makes sense.
That's
You want to know why people say, "Oh, just toughen up and get over it," is because we love the Cinderella story. We love the story of Pretty Woman, of Julia Roberts going into that boutique after she was shunned by the women who thought she couldn't afford anything, and she comes in and she goes, "Oh, too bad, I spent all my money," and she, everybody loves to see the success story. They want to see, that person who just stood up above everybody else and gave it to him. Oh, you just gave it to that bully, man. You just nailed him. It doesn't work like that in real life.
It's a movie.
It is.
It's a movie.
But that's what we idealize.
Yeah, that's what we would love
say,
to have happen.
That's what the epitome of strength is, blah, blah, blah. No. The epitome of strength, in my mind, is the power to resist the reaction. Is the power to stand true to who you are and to understand that who you are is loved by somebody. Who you are is cared about by others. And it will not be cared about by everybody. You will make enemies in this world. You will piss people off. People will not like you because you blinked funny at them. They won't like you because of the way your nose is. They won't like you because of how you dress. They won't like you because of the color of your skin. It's their problem, not yours.
Absolutely.
And so these are things that it is to me, the epitome of being able to stand tall against someone is to say, you didn't get to me. Because I didn't let you. I didn't let you get to me.
That's it, and that's where you have to take it. I regret that you had to close your account because you obviously loved it.
And I would say, girl, go back on that account, block the people that were a problem, and take it back. It's yours. You loved it. Take it back. That's what I would do.
Yeah, exactly. Take it.
And to stand tall. And just to be, you have the power to block the people who don't agree with you. You don't have to let them see what you have to say, but you shouldn't have to change who you are because of someone else says that you aren't right. I mean, that's the basis. I mean, as a country, we have come so far in certain ways of acceptance in the gay communities. I mean, I'm marveling every day at the transgender community and how much more it's become acceptable and mainstream, and people are embracing women of transgender. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. And then you see these horrible stories about how it doesn't get any, it hasn't gotten any better, but we can get better as we learn, as we understand and start to understand things. But it wasn't that long ago that someone who was gay could not even be seen in public with their partner without fear of their safety. And there are places in the world that is still a problem. There are places in the United States where that is still a problem, but it's gotten better. So I always believe it can get better. Otherwise, why try? Why bother? So I want Katie to take back her power and to stand tall. I'm not telling you to get over it. I'm not telling you to forget about it. I'm telling you that you can do this because we both did it. Marconan and we both did it. And
you had to, like, when I stood up to my bullies, I took the power back from them. And I showed them that I would not stand by. I would not let them just take it.
Yep.
And with the, and in the internet, that's you blocking them. That's you ignoring them. That's the way you have to take the power back. So.
Yep. And
Absolutely.
that is how you do it on social media. You don't let them get to you. I wish you so much luck. And again, please get some professional support.
Yes, please.
I think it is absolutely of the utmost importance, if you aren't currently seeing a therapist, that you look into an option to be able to do so. This is your life we're talking about and your safety. So it should not be taken lightly. So, and I hope that one day we get a success story from you. I think you can do it. I know you can do it because everybody has the power to do it. It's just a matter of believing that you can. And you can't say to someone, oh, well, you're stronger than I am. No, it's not that way. It's just a matter of believing that you can do it, because you can do anything like that if you believe in it. that is our think tank, a heavy one for this time, and
Mhm.
we thank you all for trusting us with some very, very important issues in our world. If you would like to send in your questions for advice, please do so at questions@taurenThinkTank.com. We would be happy to get to them as soon as we can, so as long as we haven't done them before. So, all right, Marconin, want to lighten things up a little bit?
Sure thing. And I got to
Alright.
take this hat off.
You
It's
get
getting a little
hot?
too warm under there. A little too warm under there. Let me fix my headphones.
I'm going to do the Tell Us One Thing bumper.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
All right, start us off, good friend.
Alrighty. This first Tell Us One Thing is from Will Seiler. He said, eggnog, hard or soft? So do you like your eggnog hard with alcohol or soft with non-alcohol?
Non-alcoholic, mainly because I'm not a big drinker to begin with, but I think it actually makes it better when it doesn't have the rum in it because it's a very different flavor. And I love eggnog. It's just I don't think that the rum flavor is the right taste for it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, for me, I've tried it once and it was non-alcoholic and I didn't really like the flavor of it. So it's kind of neither for me.
Neither.
I haven't really. I'm not a real big fan of eggnog, so.
See, I'll go and I'll get the thing at the store that's in the carton, and that's fine. And when someone makes it for real, and I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that.
And Elena said it's like drinking pancake batter.
It's true, actually. That's a really good point.
I like to
Nicely
drink
done.
my pancakes.
I like my pancakes. That's too funny. From Memeth, your characters, alts included, in-game got you practical gifts that will help you in real life to make things better. What did they get you? How did it help? And bonus, how did it derp and make something crazy happen?
Okay, let's see. So my characters in game got me a real present to make things better. What would they get me? Oh, if they knew me at all, it'd probably be a mount.
Yes.
It would
Which
probably
one?
be. Oh gosh, let's see. If they really loved me, it'd be the Time Lost Proto Drake or the Mimron's head.
Okay.
We'll do Time Lost Proto Drake.
So
They got me that one.
Let's paint this picture for a second.
Okay.
You're heading over to your job. It's time for you to go to work. Maybe it's a night shift. And it's time for you to go down the highway, heading up to your job. And you're pulling up in a Time Lost Pro Drake and parking them in some parking stall.
Tying him up to a sign or a light post. Just tie a little rope around him.
That would be one hell of a movie right there, where people would be like, "What?"
Yeah. And I guess how did it derp and make something crazy happen? It goes Jurassic Park on us. He starts terrorizing the neighborhood or something.
Oh, dude. See,
Yeah.
now I would say that they would give me Ashes of Alar, and this is the thing. This is how it would make it perfect. Ashes of Alar can double as my Christmas decorations on the outside of my house.
There you go.
I don't have to put up any lights in the damn snow. So just put there's like trails of pink and orange coming down. It's perfect. It's Christmas decorations right there.
Yeah. And keep you warm too.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. Be like, hey, how's it going? You're on the roof.
Oh, your car has heated seats? My ride is made of fire. Seats are always heated.
These seats are always heated, even in the summertime.
Uh-huh.
Derping and making something happen, it would be, having the neighbors probably crash their cars driving past the house to see, wow, that's a hell of a lot show right there.
Exactly.
We talked about this on I Remembered It Better. There's a guy who did a Star Wars themed house decoration, so it's like timed to the music of Star Wars.
Oh, I saw that earlier today.
In California. And it's like, it's got strobe lights and spotlights and that kind of thing. And I just laugh because because I'm like, man, the traffic in front of that house and the neighbors across the street are probably just like, I can never get out of my goddamn driveway because there's always people outside.
Yeah.
So
keeping you awake at night.
Definitely.
I don't want to hear the Imperial March at 2 a.m.
Not anymore.
It could stop.
That's too funny.
Let's see. The next one comes from 2020 site, And they want to know, what are your favorite sacred and favorite secular Christmas songs? Mine are Oh Holy Night and Silver Bells.
So yeah, Oh Holy Night was mine. We actually we did a recording with Lita after this last week's show, and she asked us that question for the Christmas special. So yeah, it's Oh Holy Night for me, most definitely. That's my favorite one.
And do you have a favorite secular one, like a little pop one that came out, or something
This
like
is
that?
hard. I've got so many of them. Right now, I'm totally obsessed with Pentatonix's Christmas album, and they did an original song called "That's Christmas to Me." It's if you haven't heard Pentatonix, they're the ones that won The Voice season 2, I want to say, and they are amazing, and
They really are.
acapella group, and so that one, "That's Christmas to Me" is what I'm totally addicted to this season. So, yep.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I told Lita my favorite sacred one is "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen."
Yes.
It's just I just like the way it works. And there's a Bob Rivers. He does Twisted Christmas. A lot of the Christmas parody songs you've heard in the last 10 to 15 years have come from him. He's a radio personality, I think, out of Seattle, and he did a parody of this called "The Restroom Door Said Gentleman." And it's a story about a guy who walked into the bathroom that had the men's room on it, but there's women in there. Someone had switched the signs. And so if you get a chance, look it up on YouTube. It's really funny. It's one of my favorite parody Christmas songs. I really dig the parody songs, but yeah, so "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen." And then my favorite secular one is No Doubt's cover of "Oi to the World."
Oh.
It's old No Doubt in the way that there's a horn section, and it's ska. It's ska Christmas, and it's a cover of, gosh, I can't remember who did it. Was it Bad Religion, or one of the older bands did the original version of "Oi to the World," and it's their cover from several years back, because they had a horn section back then. And it's fast, it's peppy, it's cool. Also, I'm wearing the shirt, you can't see it. I'm wearing Real Big Fish's Christmas album shirt called Happy Scaholidays.
Nice.
Their little 6-track thing came out this week, and it's good. So I've been listening to that. So it's No Doubt's cover of "Oi to the World." Really catchy and really, really peppy. And it's a good message to it too.
Yeah, there are so many. I really like
There's
Christmas songs.
tons.
And so I've been listening to a ton at work. And so there's a ton. Like, I had to pick 5 for I Remembered It Better. It was like, how am I going to pick 5? My gosh.
Oh, man.
This is hard.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. And the chat room is filling it up with all these cool ones and just ones. These are great.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people like the parody ones, and I think that they are the best too. My favorite parody one is the 12 Pains of Christmas.
Oh, I love that one.
I think that one is the shiz, because I laugh every time, and they change it up, because 12 Days of Christmas is kind of blah, because it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. But they wind up changing it up after they repeated it a ton of times, so it's a different, like, it's the same theme, it's just something said differently, and you're just like, that's great. So
Now, why the hell are they blinking? I don't
she's
even
a
know
witch,
half
I
these
hate her.
people. Oh, that one always rings in the Christmas season for me too. I love that one so much. Love it.
Very, very cool.
Oh, man.
And finally, from the creepy one, if garrisons weren't a thing, what would you do for fun in WoW?
I'd be on my alts more.
Yeah.
That would be the fun thing. And also, I don't know, maybe going after some of the old mounts that I haven't still got, like the one in Stone Core and Vortex Pinnacle. I haven't run those lately, but they're still on my list. So that's probably what I would be doing.
I think, and I really like garrisons. I'm just not. It's more work than it is fun for me. I find the discovery of like new quests are fun. Like I just did the one where you have to kind of bring Ural down into her next phase of things. I don't want to give any spoilers away because people may not have done them, but it's so hard because the Draenei pronounce it Ural. And so it's like, is it Urel or is it Ural or anyway?
Yeah, I've been wondering that myself.
But they most of the Draenei call her Ural. So anyway, I like those discovery quests that they come across where they're like, oh yeah, go out and do stuff for your garrison. That's not necessarily for the garrison. It's more to progress the story, and so that's fun. I think I would probably be playing. I'd honestly probably be playing more opposite faction more. I just smacked my microphone. Opposite faction, where I'd be like, being on the Horde side more, because I'm just so consumed with everything I'm doing. I'm not going over to the Horde side at all lately. So the last
my troll be staying in his garrison.
Poor troll.
And not even got out of there yet.
Ugh, poor trolly. So
I know. Gotta give him some love soon.
So that is our Tell Us One Thing. A little bit shorter this week because we knew we had a lot of stuff top heavy on the show. If you guys want to send in those Tell Us One Thing questions, it's questions@taurentthinktank.com. And on Thursdays, if you follow us on Twitter @taurentthinktank, I put out a request for them and you can respond that way. All righty, Roo. Time for some feedback, eh? Feedback. There it is. I found it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring you... Wow, that's a lot of feedback.
All right, buddy. You're reading for a while here.
Yeah. All right. This piece of feedback is about hidden gems in the game. Let's see. In Talador, when doing quests where the spiders are, Dorun, one of the guys you release from the webs, says, "Spiders. Why'd it have to be spiders?" Which is what Ron Weasley says in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And it kind of goes back to Indiana Jones also with snakes. Why'd it have to be snakes?
Yes.
In which one was that? Was that Last Crusade? Or no, which one was that? Right? Was it Temple of Doom?
It was
snakes.
It was the
Why'd it
first
have to
one.
be snakes?
It was the very first one. It was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It was Raiders? Okay.
Yeah, because it was the pit of snakes going to the Ark.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
That's right, leading to the Ark. I really wanted to... I saw the Blu-ray collection of that the other day, and I wanted to buy it, but Crystal Skull's in there, so I didn't. But anyway, let's see, and it keeps on going. This from the same person. Confession. I got really excited when I said this that I kind of squealed quite loud while making my husband think something was wrong. After confessing why I squealed, he shook his head and said something along the lines of, "I'm in love with a total nerd." And that came from Turarts. So thank you for that feedback, Turarts.
That's awesome. You are a total nerd, and we love you.
Exactly. And also, we've got another piece. It says, "Not really an Easter egg, but I always laugh a little when I fly across Thirsty Alley in Pandaria." And it's a kind of rest to Kirsty Alley. And that one's from Mumu Kachu, rating Rainbow Guild on Earthen Ring. I didn't see that one, Thirsty Alley. I like that.
Yeah, I saw it. Remember, I saw it, and it's right over by the it's the brewery instance. It's that area right there.
Storm Stout.
Yes, Storm Stout Brewery. It's right behind that where you're kind of flying around and you can see it. It comes in and says Thirsty Alley.
I like that.
Those are awesome.
I like that a lot.
Those came from the show last week when we were talking about those hidden gems in the game, and people were sending those in. So thank you guys for that.
And we've also got some more feedback. Hello again, Caspin here. I was listening to this week's episode and just really loved when Marconin just went off and became Jules's old Italian mob boss. The voice was hilarious. So I was thinking, what if Marconin did a 2-minute monologue on some random voice or something every episode or something? Just a thought. Love the last 2 discussion topics and all of the advice too. Thanks for everything. You guys are all awesome. You guys are awesome, and I look forward to Monday because it means I get to listen to my favorite podcast. Have a great week. Thank you, Caspin. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, you got your voice from Marconi. You got several of them today.
You got a few. You got a few this week.
That was some extra special gifts this week.
Yes.
The voices.
This is my present to you.
That's awesome. And finally, we have the letter here. Dear Jules and Marconin, first, thanks for all you do, for all the effort, time, and passion and love you put into making Tauren Think Tank. Your work is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Second, I wanted to offer my feedback on the discussion you had regarding stress and how we handle it. Some time ago, I wrote about the struggle my wife has had with depression, and although she was doing very well for some time, things have been on the decline over the last few months. Fortunately, we have a very good idea of what works for her, and she is scheduled for more ECT sessions in early January. In the meantime, and for the past couple months, I have again found myself transitioned from one half of a couple with 2 kids to the role of single parent with responsibility for 3 other lives. The past couple days have been better, but we're just coming out of a really rough patch for her where I would question daily if she needed to be taken to the hospital for her own safety. I'm not sure if I handle the 2 different kinds of stress differently, but I'd say this definitely fits into the category of stress that's out of one's control. As Marconin mentioned, I find it best to just power through the roughest parts, keeping in mind that things will always get better. Not so long ago, over the course of one particularly low day for my wife, my youngest was diagnosed with strep throat, my oldest had a big fight with a friend, yay for preteen drama, and one of our dogs started randomly peeing around the house. It turns out that with some time spent comforting and encouraging my wife, a prescription and popsicles for the littlest one, and a little Doctor Who time with the oldest kid, and Swiffers with the dog, we all made it through. So once I get through days like that, the only thing I want to do is escape for a bit. Once everyone is in bed, I get to watch something on Netflix, log into WoW, and just escape for a bit. That said, I don't know that this manages the stress. It may just be a day-to-day coping mechanism. In any case, while I'm in game, I feel productive, I feel in control, and damn it, healing is fun. TLDR, for me, stress is managed by staying positive and focused on the goal, even if that goal may be simply surviving the day. Maybe it should be no surprise that I like healing. Thanks again for the amazing and engaging show from Lero.
Thank you, Lero.
I love you, Lero. Kane and I had the pleasure of meeting him last winter, and he was a pleasure to talk to. And I'm sorry it's been difficult again with your wife, but you're one of the strong ones. You're doing everything you can and more, and it's all you can do. I know, but it's you know, as Marconin very well put it, sometimes we just have to power through and say it's got to get done, so it's gonna get done. And we'll deal with it later. Deal with the other stuff later. All right. We are heading into the realm of the slash moo. Start us off,
Yes. Do you want me to start that one?
yes.
All right. First one off the bat is from our friend Draven Dresden. A very special slash moo to @trash_McSweeney. All your fans, old and new, have you in our thoughts. Slash moo to @TheRedPaintings, @NYDRock, so I guess New York, NYDRock, I guess,
Yeah.
and TB Massacre for the one of the best concerts I've seen in many years.
I'm not sure who those are.
That's
but
cool.
That sounds like a cool concert.
Like rock concert, yeah.
Yeah. From execute_phase, slash moo to the show, and slash moo back to the moo crew as well. Or thanks for the slash moo on the show from Curse Gaming that gave last week. There you go. I can't read anymore. Do the next one.
Yeah, this one's from Memeth. Moo to the man in the sleigh pulled by reindeer that's giving presents for all the listeners, and slash moo to Kage Satsuki for the awesome Dirt Kitty drawings.
I love the Derp Kitty drawings.
Oh, yeah. So much expression in that face. The expressions are perfect.
I want to hug Derp Kitty.
Yeah.
I
I remember an old one where it was like, this is my, like Derp Kitty was working, and someone says, hey, I started playing this game, wow. And then like the face, like that reaction face of, I must tell you everything. I love you. that reaction of finding someone at work that plays WoW too, you know.
We will be
best
friends forever.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones.
That's so cool. From Emmy Bates 1, slash moo to everyone. Happy Christmas. I wish you peace, love, and happiness in the new year.
I think that's just Emmy Bates because you got the time right after that.
Oh, yep. See,
Yep.
Look, I guess you can't read anymore. Thank you.
Hey,
From
I
Emmy
almost
Bates.
did it. I almost did it earlier too. Next one is up from Moo Guyver. Slash moo to Papa Nat and Mama Nat for being the most generous in-laws you could ask for, even though they'll never hear this.
Aw. From
Hey, it's the thought that counts, Moo.
Yeah, no kidding. And you know, it's awesome that you love your in-laws. That is really cool. From Meerkat X, slash moo to Jules for keeping Triple T up and running and finding an awesome co-host. Love the pod / Twitch cast. Thank you. That's
Thank
really
you.
sweet. You're not supposed to give slash moo
You're not
to us,
supposed
though.
to slash moo us.
You guys don't listen.
This is for you, not us.
Fine. We'll read it anyway.
Yeah. And the last one comes from Southard _Samuel. Mind if I have a slash move for the entire Blizzard dev team who made this expansion my favorite since Wrath of the Lich King? Well, you got it. There's your slash move.
And you can send in your slash moves to other people that you think are awesome to the show, and do it at questions@torrenthinktank.com. Questions@torrenthinktank.com. I'm losing it. And then you can also do it on Twitter, which I asked for before the show on Saturday mornings. You can do it earlier. We'll keep them. No big deal. Yeah. And so that's about it for the show. You can find our show on iTunes, on Stitcher Radio. You can rate us on any one of those locations. Please do. It does help the show out. And Mark Honan, anything going on this week? It's going to be Christmas coming up on Thursday.
Oh my gosh, yes, it is on Thursday. I'm glad I got everything mailed out though. So I got all my Christmas letters and everything mailed out the last couple days. So
that is impressive. I just don't get around to doing it, and I should, because I'm lazy.
Well, I had last year I sent them out with Blizzard themed Christmas cards because they had them at BlizzCon, so I bought them.
Yeah.
And this year they didn't have them, so I was like, well, what am I going to do now? So I did something different. So, well, not really different, it's just you're getting one, so you'll see it. But so I got those knocked out, thankfully. I think all the gifts are bought. So I have to work 3 10-hour shifts this week, like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then there's Christmas the next day. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I love Christmas. I love this time of year, as you can tell by my hat and the lights and everything. So get to see my family on Thursday, get to hang out with my in-laws on Thursday and Wednesday night. It's going to be good. It's going to be real good, I think.
Good.
So, yeah. What about you? How was your week going to be coming?
Oh, I'm looking forward to having a couple of days off. I got to work Friday. I'm gonna have Wednesday, Thursday off, and go back to work on Friday.
Have a Christmas hangover.
I know, but we're just gonna be sticking at home, so it'll be great for me. I'm just probably not gonna get out of my pajamas, and which will be perfect.
That's the best way. Christmas morning, don't even put on pants. Keep your pajamas on. Just have a fun, lazy day. Unless, of course, you have to work or something.
Yeah, no kidding. No pants Christmas. Yeah. It's right here. We will have a show next Saturday night. We will do a show next week. So, guys, we'll be back. It's been awesome. We're just excited. Thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you, Mark Honan, for an excellent show tonight.
Well, thank you for an excellent show tonight.
Yeah, this was fun all around. We can give you some things to think about and some presents and all that stuff. So with that, we're gonna bring this little guy home right now. And that's a little low. There it is. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Our voiceovers are done by Zetu Uba Mages, Arcane, and Matkonen. You can find us outside of the show on our website, TaurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us.
Thank you to all of our patrons. We have special prizes, perks, and treats for all of our patrons at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank. Your support helps make this show even better, and we appreciate every single one of you.
Yes, we do. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can find Jules at Jules RPG, and you can find me, Mark Honan, at Mark Honan Wow. You can also chat with us on our forums. Give them some love, guys, and you can find those at forums.signalsmedia.com.
There we go. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being most excellent tonight, as always. And you can be part of our most excellent chat room by joining us every Saturday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time at twitch.tv/TaurenThinkTank. We love having you here with us, but we also love you for the downloads you give us, so thank you so much for that.
Yes.
And for those that celebrate, a very Merry Christmas. And we will be celebrating, well, the New Year's next week. How about that?
Yeah, last show of the year next week.
That sounds like a plan. So have a wonderful holiday. We will see you next week. For Mark Honan, for Arcane, for the entire Moo Crew, and for me. Until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo.
And, yep.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 Well, that was a damn fun show.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
It was a damn fun show. That's a lot of fun.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I went from being completely tensed up and nervous to being like, just like passionate and ready to roll. Like, let's do this. Let's dig it in. Let's get this message out there. And then it was like, let's have some fun. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna go sleep now.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty draining.
Woo!
Oh, I'm glad the song went well. I'm glad you guys liked it.
Oh,
that was
guys. Thank you so
thank
much.
you, thank you for
Like,
that.
Seriously.
Even if you don't like the song, we appreciate you listening.
I know there are some folks that don't like the actual song itself, and I agree. It's like a stalkery song, which is why we wanted a duet, and I thought that was one of the best duets, and I really thought that was a lot of fun. So it was a blast. I have an outtake of me singing my part, and Garrus got so excited when I was singing, like really, really excited, and just like running around and jumping up on the desk. And so I had my microphone up because I was standing, and he jumped up and he knocks my phone off of the desk. And you hear this thunk and me going, "Oh, Garrus."
Yeah, she sent me that little piece of audio. It's pretty good.
Oh,
Nate
man.
wants to hear it again.
Oh, you guys want to hear it again? Really?
Mm.
Well, I don't know. Oh, did
I don't know.
you? Were there people who missed it that want to hear it? Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, let's go ahead and do that, and I'll put it up on archive.org and tweet that out. So
Awesome. Yep.
you can get that.
Yeah. Do you want to build a garrison?
Do you want to build a garrison?
Oh Lord.
Doesn't have to be a garrison.
All right. You want to hear? Here. We'll play it again. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Commander, we have reports from the field that the Iron Horde are advancing into Talador. We have orders to rally east of Aukendun to mount a counterattack. Commander? Commander!
What? Huh? What were you saying? Huh?
We have orders to help the local Draenei push the Iron Horde back to the Tanan jungle.
Oh, well, I'm sure they'll be okay without us.
But Commander, we have to render aid to them. They need us.
I'm okay staying here. You can go ahead if you like.
But Commander, please.
I'm staying here, and that's final. There's nothing you can say that will change my mind. I just want to stay.
Commander Dreno's outside.
Won't you go away?
Commander Dreno's outside.
The fire in
The threats out there won't
here,
disappear.
So very nice.
Don't leave us to our own
My
device.
tannery could use some attention.
What men did I forget to mention?
I could use a big salvage
Your
yard.
troops are nervous when they're on guard.
Just when I think I'm
To
done.
see you might curb apprehension.
I need resources to be supplied.
Ma'am, would you please just come outside?
What I really
Commander,
need
there's loot out there.
is more fireweed.
There's lots to be herbed out there.
Go gather a team.
so fed up I might
to
scream.
Get some more.
Go out and get them like before.
Why don't you just go,
Hey, why
sir?
don't we go together?
My garrison is where I'll abide.
Don't you feel cooped up here inside?
Really must
Please
stay.
just come out. Commander Draenor's outside. Commander, we must go and fight.
It's cozy and nothing's going to kill me here.
But
Nope. I don't want to go.
Commander Draenor's outside.
The answer is no.
The Iron Horde is outside.
Our forces will
How
win.
much I wish you would listen.
Without me there.
I'm so upset I could pull out my hair.
Varian owes me that king.
Why would you say such a thing?
Because I killed the evil Lich King.
Not to mention you killed
I
Deathwing.
killed the Shah and made Gary sing.
Your accomplishments are astounding.
Maybe I'll just sit out this whole
But
thing.
Khadgar wants to give you a ring.
Do need more
Commander,
gold.
there's tons out there.
My auctions
More
have
things
sold.
to be sold out there.
You've been really nice.
Are you finally listening to advice?
Help me see.
I've gotten through, she's breaking free.
You have a map I can
Commander,
borrow.
where you lead, I follow.
Lots of things to go and explore.
Ashranagran and
I
Talador.
really can't stay.
Let's get a move out, Commander Dranor's outside.
There you have it.
There you have it. Oh, it's so funny. Man, it is just it is so strange to hear us both singing is like the
I know
weirdest thing. It's so fun. But thank you guys.
Yes, thank you. That was
Well, and it has literally been probably 7 years since I've actually sang anything seriously. And so I'm sitting here picking apart everything like, oh, that's not good. And that's not, he's like, shut up, just do it.
yeah.
Shut up, just do it. It's fine.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and most of the time I was mostly talking instead of singing. Like, there's loot outside, but I tried to keep it in the key, and it was just, yeah, it was so stressful getting those lyrics wrote. So it took me so long to get those hammered out.
So the way that this whole thing worked is we talked about it at BlizzCon. We were like, we're doing a song. Like we said, we're doing a song. We're doing a Christmas song. We're gonna make it happen. And we needed an idea. And we're both like, what are we gonna do? And so I think I was driving home and it hit me. And so I sent him a message. I sent him a text message. I'm like, this is it. I got it. And so I sent him the message. Mark Honan wrote all those lyrics, every single one of them. He arranged everything. He wrote the script for everything, and I just laid it down for him. So a joint effort, but a lot more work went on his side than mine. So
well, like you said, it was a joint effort. So, and we both got to put our stamp on that. So yeah, and I'll be putting it. I'll probably upload it to archive.org. That's usually the easiest one to do.
Yeah.
And we'll tweet out the address for that, so that you'll get a chance to just download it from there.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
be probably the easiest way to go about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a ton of fun. So so that's our little our world first achievement for
Yep.
Oh, so
World
fun.
first duet. Wow. Boom.
Yeah. I'm still like, I listened to it and I'm like, I could have done that better. I could have done better. But just like I said in the beginning of the show, face your fears. Even if you are completely like, oh God, I can't believe I did this. Just do it, man.
Yeah.
Just make it happen. Face those fears. So anyway, so anything else you would like to share with the chat room before we head out of here?
Oh goodness. I'm trying to think if there's anything.
Sign up for the contest, guys.
Yes, sign up to the contest and the Pen Pal program.
Yes.
That's bit.do/TTT poster and bit.do/Pen Pal, right?
Pen Pal, yes.
Pen Pal.
Yes.
And share it with your friends, your loved ones, your families, whoever wants to, be a Pen Pal. It's for you.
And
it's for
the
them.
poster, it doesn't have to be a Triple T listener, but it does need to be a WoW player.
Yeah, we would like for them to appreciate it, because trust me, they're not selling for much on eBay. I looked. You won't get much money. It'll cost me more to send it to you than it will that you will buy it off of eBay. So
exactly. But
try and get it for free.
So there is a verification question of your character name and the server you're on, so we can verify that you're a player. But you can tell your friends, tell your guild if they don't listen, get them to enter. It's just a way for us to give back to you guys. So yeah. And again, if you aren't in the United States, you're still eligible to enter. So
yep, we got you covered.
We got you covered. So thank you, patrons.
Yes.
Thank you, patrons. So
we'll make all of this possible.
Yes. So anyway, that's about it for us. You guys, thank you again for all your support through the entire year. Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
absolutely.
And we will see you next Saturday. We're gonna do a show next Saturday because it's cool. To
Yes,
do
we
shows
will.
on Saturdays.
Our year-end spectacular with
Yeah.
probably not any custom audio. I don't know what I can whip up in a week.
I don't
We'll
know,
see.
but after that, we'll just do a really good show. How's that?
Yeah, we'll just have a really good show.
All right. Bye, guys.
Good night, folks.
Slash
Slash
moo.
moo.